I think every time that you make a record, it's the most important time. You've got to look at it almost as if you're a new band, um, and that you're starting from step one again. This one, we wrote very differently than the last few. We actually have our own recording studio in Warren's living room, believe it or not. And so we had the luxury of time on our side to really um, analyze every song we were writing and make sure that, you know, the chord structuring and the harmonies and everything was as perfect as we could make it. I mean, it's the happiest we've ever been with a record that we've put out.
I think if you write a song, you want to be successful because you know that people are listening to it, people are understanding where you're coming from musically. You don't want to spend a year on a record and all of your knowledge, you know, accumulated over the years to make those songs and have no one hear it. It's very frustrating for us if we don't have success because of that.
Yeah, I feel that one of the things about being in a band, and the reason you want to be in a band in the first place, is to be able to communicate with people, whether that be through records or playing live shows. You know, that's what we're about, and we do want to get through to as many people as we can. So, you know, of course you want something to be successful.
Since we put the album back from August to January, we had some more time to write and record. And we started doing some cover versions as well as doing new original songs. And years ago, when I first got in the band, Frank Zappa said, "You guys should do Femme Fatale. It's a great song, and Simon would sound great singing it." So it was sticking in the back of our minds, and we just, you know, whipped it out and started recording it. Unfortunately, Frank couldn't be involved in it on any level as far as like a guest vocal spot or maybe some guitar, but I think we did a really great job on it, and he really likes it too.
Ordinary World was one of the first songs that we actually wrote on the album, and we all felt great when we'd finished it. We knew that it had something special. I think when that is at its best is when the music and the lyrics really do complement each other so much that it is entirely one. I mean, the lyric couldn't have been anything else. It's the way we all feel about that song, the emotion within it. And it's just a very simple idea of a guy wanting to get back to the beautiful ordinary things in the world and get away from this sort of techno jungle that we live in where, you know, everything's so complicated and there's so many problems worldwide, and just look at the really organic, simple things. I think obviously it reflects an opinion that we all share in the band, but it's not just us, it's a much bigger picture than that. I think most people in this world right now would like to see things simplified a little bit, and the misery and suffering reduced or wiped out in time. Whatever kind of job you do where you're in a position, you know, in the limelight or the media all the time, there's certain risks you run with things. As regards the thing that happened with us and the IRA plan to blow up the Prince and Princess of Wales at the Prince's Trust show we did, it's quite horrifying to think that it was that close. I mean, I was reading the Sunday Times, whenever it was, a few months ago, and it was on the front page, and I thought, wait a minute, this is the show we did. I couldn't believe it. You know, I was stunned, speechless, that it could have been that close. But it just shows you, you know, you can never be too careful. But I also think that you can't run your life in total paranoia and fear of terrorists. South Africa was somewhere that we were going to play about...
Last October.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to try and work out how many months.
Yeah.
And the thing fell through. Paul Simon has since played there. And, you know...
Who's there now? Somebody's there right now.
Yeah, there's a couple of people playing there. It's really opened up. And I think the thing is as well, you know, yeah, we have a sanction from the ANC saying it's okay to go. And we want to go and play for the kids there, you know, black or white. That's what's important to us, really, and I don't see why they should suffer. They've suffered for so long by not having any acts going there, and, you know, it's not their fault, the hideous political situation that's prevailed for so many years, and the sooner that, you know, it opens up, I think the better for them, really. We're very much going on a humanitarian level, not on a political level.
Touring in sort of third world type countries for us, we never really were, except for South America, we never really played any places like that. So being that we set it up pretty early on in the life of this album, without having any hit singles there or anything at the moment, it wouldn't really matter because these people are kind of starving for Duran Duran anyway. So we can go there and play decent-sized places, and people would be very responsive. They wouldn't necessarily have to be exposed to the new album as long as it would take a country like England or America to get settled in.
Great place to warm up as well, I think, somewhere you haven't been before that you can get excited about going. And, you know, try out the band as far away from the British media as possible, basically. I think everything you go through in your life changes you in one way or another. Success and failure are, you know, things that obviously have a dramatic effect. I mean, I can't remember exactly who it was that said it, but they said there's only one thing harder to deal with than success, and that's losing it.
As far as motivation, it's not something that I don't think about. This is Duran Duran. What's going to motivate me to make music? I have songs in my head, melodies in my head. We all do constantly, and we work as a team, the four of us. So as long as there's a germ of an idea there, we'll get it out and try and complete it and make it a great song. That's enough to make records. That's all you need, is the excitement, number one, and the ideas.
I think we all love music. You know, I don't know how else this band would have stayed together, because we've been through some pretty difficult times together, and it's just our will to survive and the belief that we have a lot of things to say as a band still, and a lot of creativity left in us.